Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. This is the first time that I'm wearing the SNF 12 varsity jacket. Hopefully, you can see it. But yes, I'm in love with this varsity jacket so far. This is like the second or third time I'm wearing it. But I decided instead of wearing a suit today, let me throw this on, all right? Yeah, I love customizing my own jackets, hoodies, shirts, sneakers, the list goes on, and I'm gonna continue doing that from now on. Now, start off with some hockey. The same old story. Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs. They once again lose to those, I'm not gonna say the word, but the Boston Bruins. They lost to the Boston Bruins, and they lost to them in 2013, 2018, 2019. And now, this year, the Maple Leafs have lost their seventh straight winner take all game. Ugh. They lost 2-1 in overtime. I didn't see the game. I went to sleep after the first intermission. But I didn't notice this until I saw a highlight say that Joseph Woll was not there as the goalie. And then I found out supposedly he was injured, so he couldn't go. I'm like, Sassonoff played great. He only allowed one goal through 3 periods and then overtime. But I was like, come on, man. If Joseph would have been out there, he probably would have not given up a goal. I could be wrong. But he was inactive. Austin Matthews was inactive. Maple Leafs offense was just nowhere near to be found. But major changes will be coming to this franchise since they lost in the first round again. They haven't won a game 7 in the playoffs since 2004, and that was against the Ottawa Senators. No bueno. Now the Boston Bruins, they will face the Florida Panthers in the second round in a rematch of last year's first round, which Boston squandered a 3-1 lead. I was hoping for that to happen again this year against the Maple Leafs, but it didn't. So, Bruins, Panthers, second round. And the Maple Leafs, like I said, it's misery all over again. They still haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967, which 2 days ago, it marked the 57th anniversary since they won the Cup. NBA playoffs. Minnesota Timberwolves took on the Denver Nuggets. This is one of my favorite matchups of the second round. And Minnesota, they put Denver on notice that they're here and they're coming. They took game 1 on the road. They beat Denver. Anthony Edwards, what can I say about this kid? He led Minnesota with 43 points. He was sensational last night. He joins Kobe Bryant as the only players 22 years old or younger to score 40 points in back-to-back playoff games. That is insane. It's insane. Nas Reed, 6th man of the year. He stepped up big time in the second half, especially that fourth quarter. When Karl-Anthony Towns, he went to the bench with 5 fouls. He was huge for Minnesota. Mike Conley was huge. He had a double-double. Karl-Anthony Towns, he had a good game as well with 20 points. He just got to stay away from foul trouble. Minnesota's defense, they play great. They made it very difficult for Nikola Jokic last night. That's the first time that I saw Nikola Jokic where I saw him struggle. like literally struggle against the defense. And Minnesota, they made it difficult for him. But at the same time, Jokic, he was doing a little too much. So that's something he will have to clean up in game two. But if you're Mike Malone, you have to make some adjustments for game two. Because Jamal Murray, you could tell that he is hobbling out there. He's on one leg because he has a calf strain issue going on. He was he didn't score no points in the first half, but he had much more better second half. But they're gonna need more scoring from Denver. They got to look at their bench. So Mike Malone will have to make some adjustments in game two because you do not want to go to Minnesota down 0-2. Game two is a must win for Denver. But this Minnesota team, they're good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by what I'm seeing from this team. This team, I mean, I'm more amazed of their defense. They're lengthy, they have depth, and I was very impressed with what I saw from their defense in last night's game. Their defense have my attention more now because against Denver, no knock on Phoenix, even though they play sensational against Phoenix, but they're facing the reigning defending champions in the Denver Nuggets. And game one, they made a huge statement. So I'm looking forward to game two. Game two will be on Monday night. And it's either Minnesota will steal another one on the road, or will Denver even up the score and split the series to go back and to go to Minnesota 1-1. So, but I'm gonna be paying a lot of attention to Jamal Murray because, again, he's playing basically on one good leg. And I hope that this calf strain that is bothering him doesn't grow worse throughout the series because they're going to need a lot from him in order to beat this good Minnesota team. Same face, new place. Luis Arias is the newest member of the San Diego Padres. He got traded from Miami to San Diego. Miami got back some prospects. And he made his debut loud and clear. He wasted no time. He wasted no time. Luis Arias is the first San Diego Padre player ever to have a four-hit game in his team debut. The Padres absolutely annihilated the Arizona Diamondbacks by the final score of 13-1. Luis Arias was sensational. And it's interesting that Fernando Tatis Jr., who is one of my favorite players in the game right now, he said that Luis Arias is probably the closest thing to Tony Gwynn. And I don't entirely disagree with that. We know how good and consistent of a contact hitter Tony Gwynn was. Rest in peace to Tony Gwynn. But what Luis Arias has been doing for the last 2 seasons, I would say, when he was with Minnesota, and then last year, forget what he did last year. Last year he was on a whole different level. And now he has a chance to do something even much bigger things with San Diego because shockingly, Miami is not going nowhere this year. They started the season horrendous after having an impressive season last year. And Luis Arias, he arrived in a very good situation. San Diego, they lost Juan Soto, but now they have Luis Arias. You pair him with Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, the list goes on and on. That's a deadly lineup from 1 through 5 or 1 through 6 if you want to look at it that way. So Luis Arias has a chance to take the San Diego team to a whole nother level. And I hope they do because this is a franchise that has been suffering for so long. And they need to get back to that team that was in 2022, but even better. And when you have a guy like Luis Arias as their leadoff man, San Diego can be something truly special this season. The Minnesota Twins, they're on fire. They're on fire. They have won 12 in a row. This is their longest winning streak since 1991. And what happened in 1991? Two things. Yours truly was born, and also that was the last time that the Minnesota Twins won the World Series. So this Twins team is getting hot. Cleveland Guardians, they better watch out. I know that they're favorites to come out of the AL Central, and if there's one team that could potentially have an answer for that, is the Minnesota Twins. And I won't be sleeping on the Kansas City Royals. They've made some nice moves in the offseason, and I like the way they're playing so far this season. I'm not even gonna go much into detail about this one. I might save this one for Baseball Heat Podcast with Mike, which will be on Tuesday. MLB umpires are thin skin, super thin skin. First, it was Aaron Boone, and now Aaron Judge. And if you saw what happened with Aaron Judge yesterday, I'll just let you watch the highlights. Go see for yourself. It was a stupid ejection. When I got the notification on my phone that Aaron Judge got ejected for the first time, I'm like, huh? Aaron Judge, the current captain, 2022 AL MVP, Aaron Judge? Are you sure he's not an imposter? So it was a very stupid ejection. MLB has a very, very, very serious problem with these umpires. Aaron Judge becomes the first Yankee captain since 1994 to be ejected. And that name is Don Mattingly. Wow. I'm telling you, go see the highlights for yourself and see what happened, why he got ejected. But what amazes me about Aaron Judge, and I respect this about him, even though it was the one time that I was truly disappointed Aaron Judge was when the whole Jackie comment that Josh Donaldson made towards Tim Anderson, that was blown out of proportion, and no one, and I mean no one from the Yankees, especially the main guy, Aaron Judge, had Josh Donaldson's back. They basically said that he was wrong, he should never said that, blah, blah, blah. That was the one time that I was truly disappointed in Aaron Judge. And I thought I was very soft of him and the Yankees to not defend Josh Donaldson. But what I respect that Aaron Judge did in this situation was that after the post game, when the media asked him questions, there's two things that I respect that he did and how he handled that. Number one, he didn't bash the umpire. He was professional. And number two, he composed himself and handled all the stupid questions that the media were asking him. Because I don't understand how a lot of these people are journalists, to be honest with you. Oh my God. When I hear stupid questions, I mean, I just laugh because this is the media and entertainment industry, and you won't believe how many reporters, journalists ask so many dumb questions, so many. But then again, it's like, it's a tough industry to break in because you gotta have this amount of years of experience, this and that, a whole bunch of stuff. But then again, we have a lot of people who don't have common sense that are working in the industry. But I respect Aaron Judge for handling the media and all the questions that they threw at him because, let's be honest, most media members, they look for that negative comment from the players. So that's why there's always that thing between the media and the athletes. And since this was Aaron Judge's first career ejection, and he's playing for New York, you know how New York media is. They were coming, but Aaron Judge, he handled everything perfectly, and I mean, hey, he's the captain for a reason, so he handled that whole post-game interview with class and with professionalism. To wrap it up, with some boxing, it's Cinco de Mayo, and Canelo Alvarez is the top dog in boxing. But the opponent that he was facing, he's a good opponent, but he's not an elite opponent. So when I saw the commercials and the whole marketing campaign, this is easy money for Canelo. So he defended his 168-pound title, knocking down Jamie Munguia to score a unanimous decision win. The judges scored the fight 117-110, 116-111, and 115-112 in favor of Canelo. Canelo Alvarez, he landed 234 of his 536 punches, while Jamie answered with 170 of 663 shots. Jamie, he's 26, 27 years old. He stood up to Canelo. He didn't back down. He fought his fight, but Canelo is just a way better fighter in this situation. So the last competitive fight that Canelo had was against Triple G. Mostly the first two fights, because the third fight, I'm glad the third fight they did it, but it was one of those things where, Triple G, he's out of his element. But I wish they could have fought the first time in 2015 and not in 2017. Even though I felt Triple G won in the first fight, and you can argue that he won the second fight as well, but the judges, that one judge, I don't know what she was thinking, but the first fight ended in a draw. The second fight they gave to Canelo, BS. And then the third fight, fair and square, Canelo won. But yeah, Canelo is still a champion. And let's see who his next opponent will be, whether it will be later this year or next year for Cinco de Mayo weekend. That concludes this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Email me with any questions, anything that you want to tell me or ask me. We have the Kansas Speedway today, NASCAR, at 3 o'clock. We have Game 7, Orlando Magic, the young, fast-growing Orlando Magic versus Cleveland Cavs. We have some hockey, baseball. Just overall great Sunday with a lot of sports to watch. So I'll see you guys next Sunday. Take care, everyone. I believe next Sunday is Mother's Day. Well, I might or might not record next Sunday if it's indeed Mother's Day or not. So, but just stay tuned and have a great Sunday, everyone. Be safe and may God bless each and every one of you.